Jabbar made at least 2 trips to New Orleans in the months prior to the attacks. From what we now know, Jabbar stayed at a rental home in New Orleans beginning October 30th, 2024. He was in town at least 2 days. During that time, Jabbar, using meta glasses, recorded a video as he rode through the French Quarter on a bicycle.
Boom! What's going on, you guys? Byron Rodgers, Tactical Projection Review. Around the individual who did the New Orleans terrorist attack, right? The FBI just released footage showing that he had already gone to the scene of the crime 2 times prior to executing on his jihad or his terrorist mission from ISIS. Now, what's significant about that to the security community, to people who are wanting to safeguard their neighborhoods, to people that want to live an overall safer pattern of life and kind of defend against these types of things, is that this is exactly what we are trying to stop when we are conducting private security operations around a venue, right? So venues are massive, kind of like targets, right? If someone's going to do a lone wolf, active shooter, active killer, active human threat thing, they're looking for an environment that's going to maximize the number of casualties and fatalities, because then, of course, what they've come there to do gets more notoriety, and all of the different things that a terrorist operation would be looking for, and or someone who just wants significance or to prove a point is looking for, can happen in those places. But very often in just normal life, we see security personnel in these environments just kind of standing there, right? And this video is just kind of to inform, like, what are you doing and what are you supposed to be doing while you're standing there, what you're hoping your security personnel are doing while they stand there, and kind of to talk about a little bit of the importance of what it is exactly we're doing. When security personnel are standing there, they are surveying the crowd. They are looking for target indicators. They're looking for signs and symptoms that they can use to understand if there's an enemy in the crowd who is conducting his hostile planning cycle. All right, so what you're really trying to do while you're interviewing people, while you're watching the crowd, is you're looking for anything that's out of the normal. That would let you know that the enemy is among you in the middle of this hostile planning cycle. What's the hostile planning cycle? These are the things that an enemy or a human being must do before attacking you, attacking your facility. People do these things in a micro way, right? So if someone's like, I'm gonna mug somebody today, he's gonna walk around and he's gonna pick a good target, right? And then he's going to try to create an environment or a situation that gives him tactical advantage. He's gonna have to do the act, and then he's gonna have to get away, and then he's gonna have to exploit, like enjoy whatever it is that he got from the mugging, the money, the cell phone, whatever, right? So target selection, planning, deployment, the actual attack, then getting away with the attack, and then exploitation, right? So when an enemy is going to do these things, and this especially goes for venue security, church security, neighborhood security, you need to be looking for people in that environment that don't fit the baseline.
Jabbar was wearing a pair of meta glasses when he conducted the attack on Bourbon Street, but he did not activate the glasses to live stream his actions that day.
And what you need to do is consolidate information. So maybe someone comes to your facility, comes to your church, and is acting a little bit weird, and they're taking photos of, doorways and access points and crucial pieces of the infrastructure or the building's structural integrity, or where fire extinguishers are around your building. These are the types of things and people that you're going to want to interview. You want to get some ID from them. There's a whole nother class on how to talk to them, how to get that information. Follow them to their car passively, get a license plate, and pass that information up to your local diffusion center. Also, make sure that you have a list of suspicious persons, persons of interest, vehicles of interest, so that you have a chain of data, so that when something significant happens, something takes place on property that is significant enough, you already have multiple data points. Well, this person came the other day, we caught him walking around taking photos of everything. Today, they started screaming at some random person, death to America, because they were wearing some shirt that they didn't like. Okay, you know what? that person is now not allowed on property. We'll let them know that they're trespassed. If we see them again, we make sure we kick them right off property. Make sure law enforcement knows about them. Pass that information up to local law enforcement, and become a TLO, terrorist liaison officer, if you can. That's kind of another kind of conversation. But the reality is, when you're protecting a venue, a place that people are visiting on a regular basis, you want to start understanding what the baseline of behavior is in that venue. If there's a weird person just wandering around taking pictures of things, they could be in their hostile planning cycle. You don't walk up to them and kick them out. You walk up to them, you address them, you're polite, you're respectful, you let them know that you do see them. Tell them, hey, you look a little confused. How can I help you? Is there anything I can do? What's your name? Where are you coming from? Where are you going? Interview them and get as much information as you can, because you want to scare them away. Is another reason why when we put security in different places, there are a number of active shooters that have taken place over the last few years that we find their cell phones, we find their diaries, we find the notes they were taking during their hostile planning cycles. And in those notes, you just find, this place had armed security, so I didn't pick it. This place had armed security, so I didn't pick it. I chose the place that didn't have any armed security. So that's why when it comes to Bravo, we do armed security. We have an overt unit that is there so that any terrorists or anyone else in the area that would seek to do good people harm knows that there's instant accountability in that area. So these are just a few considerations for events. If you can, avoid events. But if you are working an event or you're at an event and you see someone who isn't fitting the baseline of the event, they're not happy, they're not singing along, they're not raising their hands if it's church, they seem to be on a mission, and they seem to be distanced socially and psychologically from the crowd, those are the people you lock onto. Those are the people you take a minute and watch. And if they act suspicious, you pass that information up your chain of command. If you're on a security team, make sure you're cataloging these people until you have something actionable on these people, and then you can take action. Byron Rodgers, man of peace. More good stuff to come. If you are a civilian and you're looking for training, go to protectyournation.com. We have over 70 hours of some of the best training online to help you understand things like this. If you're looking for professional security coverage, go to bravoresearchgroup.com, and it would be an honor to serve and support you and yours while you execute on your mission. Thank you.